Now, Palestinian factions are preparing for a new round of talks with the Israelis within a week, but it's not clear if Israel is living up to the commitments it made under the ceasefire deal it signed with the Palestinians. According to the ceasefire deal, Israel pledged to allow activities for the reconstruction of the Gaza Strip, which had badly damaged during the 50-day war last summer. But it is still not clear if this mechanism is working. With the cold days of winter approaching, the more than 100,000 residents of Gaza were still homeless as a result of the Israeli war in dire straits. The Israeli war killed more than 2,000 Palestinians, mostly civilians, and injured more than 11,000 others. Joining us now is our correspondent Hisham Mahanna, live from the Gaza Strip. Now, Hisham, just tell us a bit more about how Israel, if at all, is living up to its ceasefire agreements.
Until now, the only thing that's still concrete about the indirect negotiations conclusion is that there is no firing, there is no rockets, no bombardment, no explosions here in the Gaza Strip. However, the part pertaining to the reconstruction, running the wheel of the reconstruction process in Gaza Strip is still suspended because simply there is no aid allowed into the Gaza Strip yet. And this comes amidst the negotiations upon how to monitor and make sure that not 1 gram of cement would reach to Hamas, because Israel fears that it might use this aid to rebuild its tunnels and use it in its activities. This is some sort of legitimizing of the siege. By saying that, I mean that the process itself means that every single item will enter Gaza Strip is monitored in the rooms of both the borders of Eretz in the north and Kerem Shalom in the south of Gaza Strip. All the businessmen and the reconstruction companies allowed to receive this kind of materials have to pay an agreement to the committee, whatever it is that's going to observe the siege, that they have to secure warehouses provided with cameras, surveillance cameras, to make sure that all these construction materials are monitored and they know where exactly they are used and how and by whom. So this kind of legitimizing the blockade so far until now. The fact now is that Israel has killed more than 2,147 civilians in Gaza Strip. 10,000 are wounded, and there is more than 60,000 people displaced still in the streets. And now the winter is coming. The devastation has increased by the leaking of the water, especially for those people who live under the rubble of their houses until now, because they haven't received any kind of aid. Even the rental payments they were promised by the reconstruction process, they haven't received them yet. So the people in Gaza are still
Hisham, I do understand that only 2 crossings into Gaza are currently opened through which products are trickling in and out. Also, with regards to this quote-unquote buffer zone by land and sea, still remains in place. The Gazan fishermen are not being allowed to fish in deeper waters, and the farmers are not allowed to go back to their farms, which are close to the border with Israel.
This varies depending on the day itself. For example, the fishermen, sometimes they go fish in the sea and come back safely. Other days they got either shot, confiscated, the confiscation of their boats by the Israeli side, or they get detained by themselves by the Israeli soldiers. So it's still now not safe. They haven't been given a safe, complete safe 6 miles into the sea to fish. For the fishermen as well, we can hear in a day or another that the farmers who are allowed officially to go back to their farms close to the buffer zone get also molested by the Israeli forces behind the siege, behind the border. Until now, the reality is that the agreement is not 100% guaranteed until now. The explosion wouldn't come out of an explosion or an act by mankind, but it would come by the delay of the aid which the Palestinian people need, both in Gaza Strip and also in the West Bank. We are all witnessing the clashes occurring now in Jerusalem, and how Israel is trying to put the pressures on the Palestinian leadership to kill any hopes of gaining any kind of winning in the UN rooms, for example. until now, Israel is still playing its cards twistedly to make sure that the Palestinians are still under the full control of the Israeli Authority.
All right, that's Press TV's Hisham Mahanna reporting from the Gaza Strip. Hisham, thank you for updating us on the situation there in Gaza.